Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Thursday, March 3rd, 2016. You can see pretty chilly temperatures out there this morning. In the teens across southern lower Michigan were more clouds around the increase, and across the northern areas we were down into the single digits and even colder as you get up north, and we'll show you that in a minute, especially across the northeastern portions of the lower peninsula. We got some snow moving this way, especially for the areas around I-94, I-96 south. Not a lot, mainly perhaps a trace to as much as 2 inches once you get down towards the Ohio border. If you take a look at the Great Lakes, you can see those cold temperatures out there this morning, down to 14 below zero at Grayling, 3 below at Alpena, and down to 1 below at Oscoda, -3 at Cadillac. So very chilly temperatures out there. And we've got a few days of cold temperatures coming, and we're going to add to our snowpack. And then we're going to see spring kick into high gear next week, with a chance of some 50s and maybe even some 60s. I don't think 70 is looking very likely now, because we're going to have plenty of clouds and precipitation, I think, moving in as we get into next week. Looks like the best day of the week as far as sunshine goes and decent weather is going to be Sunday, when we'll see temperatures warm up into around the 40, 42 degree area with plenty of sunshine. If we take a look at the climate data for today, you can see our normal high is 37 and normal low of 20. You can see back in 1974, temperature got up to 70 degrees. We won't be near that today, but certainly warmer air next week. You can see for yesterday, we had a high of 25 and a low of 11, with just a trace of precipitation, 100th of an inch after 7 a.m. And again, our current snow depth this morning is 7 inches here in the Breckenridge area. If you take a look at the webcam from yesterday, the time lapse for photography, and you can see that snow that had moved in. Excuse me, that was on the day on Tuesday. Pretty significant storm. We had about 19.2 inches of snow over the last 6 days as of this storm here, and that gives us again about 20 inches of snow. That's half the season snowfall in just 2 systems in 6 days after not having a whole lot of snow. But you can see here, I got pretty low visibilities that time as that storm really began to take hold, especially on Tuesday afternoon. If you take a look at the next screenshot, you can see Blissfield this morning, no snow on the ground, but I think here as we get into the day towards evening, we'll see this look a little bit whiter out there. Again, I think Blissfield, Jasper, they have the best chance of getting the greatest snowfall with this system. A second Clipper system will move by the area, and that'll give much of the area, I think, 1 to 3 inches, maybe even 2 to 4 inches of snow as we get into Friday night and Saturday. I think snow could begin around the area from northwest to southeast, beginning during the early evening hours in the northwest and spreading to the southeast. If you take a look at the radar map this morning, again, that system there that's going to be moving well off to our south will spread some of this precipitation into the southern part of the state. Again, we don't expect this to be a very big system at all. If we go to the next map, by this morning, you can see that low pressure system in Missouri. It's going to be heading off to the east-southeast. And again, just light amounts of snow across the Great Lakes. But as we get into the 7 p.m. Friday, you can see our Clipper that'll be dropping out of Canada into Minnesota. That'll be heading right towards southwest lower Michigan into northern Ohio here by Saturday morning, spreading this good chance of snow across the area from the upper Great Lakes into Michigan here. And as we look by Saturday morning, that low pressure system now coming towards southern Lake Michigan. A warm front off to the south. I think the heaviest precipitation will be along and just to the north of that front, from around the Grand Rapids, Lansing, down towards Detroit. From there on to the north, I think, is where the best chance of maybe 2 to 4 inches of snow. Right now, it looks like the National Weather Service is leaning towards 1 to 3. Sometimes these systems, though, the models weaken them a little bit too quick. So I'm going to suggest that we have a good chance of around 2 to 4 inches of snow across south central and central lower Michigan up into north central lower Michigan for Friday night into Saturday. If we take a look at, again, the snowfall, I'm predicting about 1 to 4 inches. I think the heavier amounts will be across, again, the central Michigan area. And if we look at the forecasted map from the WPC, this is at a 10 to 1 ratio. So you can see 2 systems. The first one comes through off to our south mainly, with the exception of the Blissfield, Jasper, over towards Jackson, maybe Charlotte area. Again, that'll be about a trace of 2 inch snow. And then the second system, the Clipper system, will be deep in the cold air. So I expect about 20 to 1 snowfall ratio. So these numbers here in the blue where it's 2 inches, you could double those. That's why I think we got a good shot at that Clipper system to bring around 2 to 4 inches of snow, again, Friday night into Saturday. If we look at the next map, you can see by next Wednesday, though, the GFS has got temperatures well into the 50s across the area. So whatever snow we're getting is going to rapidly melt, because we'll be around 40 on Sunday. I think we'll be around 50 to the low 50s for Monday, probably closer to 50, and I think in the 50s for Tuesday and Wednesday. And you can see the Canadian's about 3 degrees warmer, as is the European model. So again, a pretty warm week next week. Behind the system, we're not going to get much in the way of cold air, as we expect another push of warm air later in the week. And as far as precipitation amount, the 240-hour GFS has some very heavy rains across southern lower Michigan. Now, it's to be noted that the European model on the noon run yesterday had 2.5 inch rains all the way up to central Michigan. This overnight run and 0-0-Z run has much, much less precipitation, with mainly 1 inch to 1.25 inches across the southern part of the state. So right now it looks like the focus will be across the southern 1/4 of lower Michigan as far as heavy rainfall next week, and might even be a thunder shower. Again, we'll have to watch later forecast models to see how warm and how wet we might get. But certainly by this time next week, there's a good chance that most, if not all, the snow around here will be gone or nearly gone. And again, the other concern would be is if this heavy rain were to shift farther north. This area here across lower Michigan, where I've got outlined, has picked up about 15 to 20 inches of snow here over the last 8 days. So there's going to be quite a bit of water content, along with the heavy rains and the rapid snowmelt. Again, could bring some flood concerns across the area as we get into next week as well. And thanks for stopping by, and have a great day, and 73s to all.